I think what many people think the best player in the NBA to a four-year contract. So he'll be around here for a while. I don't think people appreciate how great he is, but we certainly do, and certainly Mike does, and so does Darryl. So I'll give you James now.
Put it right on the spot, right? Yeah, so I'm truly excited more than ever. Ever since I stepped foot on in Houston, it's nothing but love and support from Les and Darryl and just the front office. It's truly like a home to me. So I'm happy to be here another 4 years, and a lot of great things are going to happen. So it's been a progress. It's been a build-up, and with the addition of our new signings and a couple other pieces, some really good things are going to happen next year.
James, there was already some talks about when you were going to hit the open market and whatnot. How much of this is just kind of to avoid any distraction for the upcoming year?
Well, like I said, this is a home for me. So whatever it takes. I think every year we try to build and find better ways to get better, and that's my focus. That's my priority. So this was kind of to eliminate that, like you said, and focus on the Houston Rockets and how can we get better each and every year.
Darryl, when did this start, this process about extending him on?
Yeah, we began talking to James about it last November as a potential concept, and obviously it wasn't something we could agree on until he was eligible in July, but we were able to finish it off last night, and we're very excited.
James, were you kind of surprised that they came to you so soon, like in November, to say we want you long term instead of waiting until you grew up? Yeah,
like you said, you kind of mentioned it to me, but I obviously had to focus on the season. So he brought it to my attention, and then we started talking about it in July. So it's a great decision for I think both the organization and myself, and I'm happy to be here.
James, you mentioned that this is your home, and when you say that you're going to be here for 4 more years, what does it mean to you being the face of this franchise and putting on that Rockets jersey every time and knowing, giving the fans, letting them know you're going to be here, this is what you're doing?
So there's no indecision. There's no doubt in anybody's mind. Now we got to focus on how can we improve. And last year was very stressful for all of us, I think. So I think there's some new life here. I think we're excited. With the coach coming in and some new players. So training camp and this summer we're going to really get together and focus on building a strong team and going out there and just going to battle every single night.
James, how comfortable do you feel about the future now? You're locked in 4 more years, and so is Ryan, Eric here as well.
Yeah, we get to build us three together right there. You build some chemistry. You just get guys to kind of feel around you. Really good guys like Trevor and Pat, Clint, who's extremely getting better every single year. So then you just add pieces around that, and you got a really good team.
James, can you talk about Sorry. Can you talk about how you've grown into your role here and embraced the city, embraced the team? I know when you first came here, it was kind of a shock and you weren't really ready for it, but just the evolution of you here and with this team?
I mean, I was ready. It was new to me, but I was
You saw the first game, right?
I was ready for sure. But I'm definitely settled in now. I know what to expect. And, we're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. Last year wasn't a great year for me. But, it won't happen again. That's one thing about, being great. You don't make the same mistakes twice. So, like I said, I'm happy to be here for another 4, and we're going to build it until, we get it.
Darryl, was there any way in the way that the contract extension was structured that opened things up for the signings of Eric and Ryan?
Yeah, so we had spoke to James, when free agency kicked off in July. We're all focused on winning a championship. Him most of all, Mr. Alexander. So we obviously were pursuing some of the big names, the max names, and some of those wouldn't have let us, do this extension. Once obviously that there was only a few names that went off the board this year. The best use of our ability to sign players was to do an extension for James. It was a no-brainer.
James, can you kind of put this whole thing in perspective? Arizona State, Oklahoma City, 6-man, traded here, and there's no way around it. I mean, face of the franchise now, it's D'Antoni's team, it's Daryl's team, it's Les's team, it's your team as well. That this whole rise you've had in these last 4 or 5 years, it's been pretty stratospheric.
It has. It has. It's been a blessing, but I think what makes this thing work so well is our communication level. These two right here are just always in communication with me, and that right there, allows me to go out there and just do my job at a high level. And so now Mike being here and our communication has been to a T. I'm talking about a few times a week since we've been here. I think that's very important. For a really good organization to have communications so that everybody's on the same page and positive things happen.
What did you learn? Obviously on the court didn't work, but what did you learn about yourself last year with some of the struggles off the court, on the court, about the person you want to be moving forward, being a leader, kind of being, you're all NBA type of guy, top 5 player in the league, but there's another step that leaders have to take in this league. What did you learn about last year?
Well, last year was more frustrating than anything. So, leaders aren't, built when things are going extremely well. So I had to learn from it. I had to figure out how can I be better individually, and how can I, grasp my team and bring us a lot closer to. So, I learned from last year, and I think that's why I'm more excited about this year, because I've learned so much, and I'm able to go in with the open mind to just go out there and just compete at a high level and learn how to bring guys, with me.
Les, how frustrating is it to see a player of his stature say, I'm not going to go through tours and look at other teams. I want to stay here. I want to sign home time.
It's that's the kind of organization we're trying to build, where people know that we're going to try to win all the time, and that they want to be here. And the city of Houston helps, the whole organization helps, and and that's what we expect. That's the kind of level of team I expect to have, to tell you the truth.
James, with the new players paired with the people that are already here, what are your expectations for this team this year?
Well, people are definitely overlooking us. We kind of have that underdog mindset, which is fine. We're going to work that much harder. We're going to come together even tighter. And we're going to all be on the same page. So, and then we'll let the chips fall where they do. But starting with this summer in training camp, we're going to be all in. We're going to have the same goal, and that's to win, and whatever it takes. So, I think once we hang around each other, and we get Ryan and Eric, with the other group of guys on the team, it'll all come together.
James, given the stats that you put up, especially in the second half of the season overall, and kind of helping carry this team to the playoffs, how frustrating was it, and how maybe motivational will it be that media did not put you on any of the All-NBA teams in contrast to the previous 2 years?
I'm always motivated. That was just another little niche right there, but I know what I do. I know how hard I work, and so just got to take it to another level. Every single year, you got to come back better than you were the previous year, and I know how hard the front office works to put the players and the pieces around me. So I'm always motivated. I got to come back better than I was last year, and it will happen.
James, the team has been looking for a secondary playmaker for a while. Lawson last year, this year, Eric Gordon. How do you see you and Gordon kind of fitting?
Well, Eric is extremely talented. He does so many things well. Obviously, he can create. He can knock down a shot. Very versatile. So you add him with a knockdown shooter and a big Ryan Anderson. The floor is going to be that much spread. For me to create, get to the lane, and make plays for my teammates.
James, how do you look at the Warriors? And you know Kevin so well, you guys are friends. Obviously his decision is a decision, but the West has been loaded for years. The Warriors have been there, Spurs. Now you got a super team up there. How do you view that as a competitor in this league and a top 5 player in this league?
I focus on Houston Rockets and my team and how can we get better. And, obviously the Warriors are a really good team. And
They have to defend us also.
It's only, right. It's only one basketball, so, you got to figure it out.
When did you decide officially that's what you're going to do?
I mean, I've been knowing. I mean, I haven't thought about anything else, so I'm here.
Mike, does this feel kind of like a little bit like Christmas morning, getting a favorite player?
That's right, yeah, this is really good. You know, you guys were talking about the Warriors, rightly so. Everybody's kind of penciled them in, but that's why you use that phrase pencil. It's kind of erase around it, right? So it's not inked in, it's penciled in. We'll see.
James, can you talk a little bit about how excited you are playing this new offense with coaches' ideas and your talent and the pieces around you?
The entire coaching staff, you know, and like I said, you know, as soon as he signed, you know, I'm calling him and we're going back and forth and trying to get this thing rolling, you know, and so we've already watched film on some things that, you know, he sees me in, and you know, it's just a process. It's a process of communication. It's a process of, you know, you're willing to work and get better and figuring it out. So, you know, he's always working. His mind is always wondering on how to get this thing going, and I am too.
James, how much studying are you doing to get prepared for D'Antoni's offense? Are you watching a bunch of old Phoenix Suns videos? What are you doing?
That's my last team in LA. This is a nightmare now.
We watched, you know, some old Phoenix Suns clips, you know, and their offense and what Nash was doing. So can't give you too much yet.
Is he someone that maybe you kind of want to try to emulate a little bit? Is a little bit of his style? Is Nash?
Yeah, I got a little bit of Nash in me. He had his own pace of the game. That's what, you know, I took out of that. You know, you never could speed him up. You never could make him do anything he didn't want to do. You know, so that's what separated him from any of the point guard at the time when he won those, you know, 2 MVPs.
Coach and his staff actually put together for free agency when we met with folks. James making the same passes as Steve, and they're obviously different players, but I think people forget how creative and how great James' vision is as a passer. I mean, he's by far the best passing wing. We showed free agents how you look at every player in the league, how many points were scored off their passes, and James is 5th, and the first 4 are all point guards, and there's, you know, he's ahead of all the other guys you might think of. So.
Yeah, don't say that. No.
Yeah, I was about to say. he's trying to keep it. I was about to say it.
I got your back.
Daryl, how about for you? You know, you had worked so hard to get James invited here and go to the same Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. Last year was rough, but I mean, no one's really expecting you to walk in today after this and say, you guys, we have a 4-year deal with James Harden. How proud are you as a GM working with Les and Mike to lock this down?
Well, Mr. Alexander gives me the platform. You know, I came into a very great situation here in Houston with a very well-run organization. He's only had 2 losing seasons in 23 years, and you know, I'm just humbled to try and continue that. We've obviously had some good runs, made the Western Conference Final. Dwight did some great things for us, and you know, he made, you know, in free agency you get your choice, and he made his. Now we're building a new core with James here for a long time. All the guys I mentioned signed for multiple years. I didn't want to spill the beans last one, but yeah, we've got all these guys signed for a long time. Everyone can just focus on basketball. Everyone can focus on winning. This team reminds me of the one, you know, 2 seasons ago when we made the Western Conference Finals. If you took this moment in time, this snapshot in time, everyone is writing the Rockets are a disaster. We didn't keep our main free agent. We went for another big-time free agent, and he you know, chose a different team at the last moment. You know, the Rockets are done. You know, we're not going to have a great year. And that was the year that, you know, James and the team carried us to a 56-win team Western Conference Finals. And our goals are bigger than that, but, you know, I think we're all motivated by the fact that I think, you know, someone just several places listed the playoff teams in the West, and we haven't not been a playoff team like almost, I think we've been a playoff team under Mr. Alexander. You know, I think it's 14, 15, 16 of the 20 years. It might be 17, I don't remember. It's a lot. So to not even be listed in the playoff contenders, you know, with a top player in the league and a great core built around a coach and everything fits, you know, it's motivating to me. I think it is to the players too.
Les, with all these moves that have been made, how excited are you to see this team on the court?
Very. I think we'll see a well-coached team on both sides, offense and defense, with I think the best offensive, maybe the best player in the league, James. And we brought him. You know, if we hold on to the ball, rebound, and do the smart things with the offensive players we have, and we defend, we're going to be very, very, very good.
James, Now that you're going to be here for a really long time, do you think at all about your legacy and what you can do here in Houston? How you how people are going to think of you and remember you, feel about you in the city?
All the time, all the time. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to lock in, for these next 4 years, so I could focus on my legacy and focus on, winning and doing unbelievable things here that hasn't been done in a long time. So, to answer your question, yes.
And the goal, obviously, a rhetorical question, but NBA title, win a championship for the city. When you sign a deal like this, you're here long term.
That's everybody's goal.
Yeah.
James, there's questions everyone's going to have to answer for the upcoming season. For Eric, we had questions about him, staying healthy. Coach, you were asked questions about your team's defensive philosophy. James, you're going to have questions too as a competitor. How do you answer those? How does that fuel you for the upcoming year, knowing that people are going to question this team's, for example, defensive prowess?
Well, we brought over one of the best defensive coaches we have in the NBA. So just,
Let me just chime in for a second. The guy played 42 minutes, 43 minutes a game. He had to carry the team offensively. There were guys who couldn't shoot the ball many times, okay? He was it. And then they expected him to go and chase guys all over the court. There's only so much a human being can do. You should see him after a game, how tired he was. He'll play really good defense this year because he's got guys who can help him.
I appreciate that. No, but yeah, we're all on the same page. It goes back to our communication. So, you bring in Eric Gordon, another playmaker, another shooter, Ryan Anderson, another shooter in the big. You give some offensive pressure off me, so I'm able to compete at a high level on both ends of the floor, for all 82 games. And so that's the most thing I'm more excited about is to actually go out there and show people that I'm capable of playing at a high level on both ends of the floor. And you'll see.
Any other questions?
James, how involved were you with trying to get Ryan and Eric here? Were you trying to pitch them, trying to come to get here as well?
Yeah, of course. They're really good players, really good talent, and so also they felt like it was a really good situation for them as well. So everything fit. Them coming here, Coach D'Antoni, his system and how he runs things, and myself. So it all worked out, and it's going to work out in. I think from front office to the players, and everyone is excited about it.
Initially, you talked, Daryl talked about, with White leaving and how everyone thought the sky was falling a couple years ago. From your standpoint, you signed a 4-year deal. This offseason, kind of quietly, things have kind of come together for us.
Yeah, and nobody's really talking about it, which is a good thing. So we're gonna work. We're gonna put the work in. We're gonna, make sure that everyone's on the same page, and we're just gonna creep up on guys and they'll be talking about the